Do you know that you can transform your writing style in just 90 days? Subscribe to our YouTube channel and get free actionable tips that can help you improve your writing style in a very short period of time. Today's episode is different in many ways. First of all, you will get a pleasant surprise if you watch the complete video. So please watch the complete video carefully. Number two is, unlike other episodes, this episode is primarily a recorded version of our first class, which is Introduction to Content Writing. This first class of our content writing course helps you get started with your first piece of content. If you have already attended our classes, then you may find this episode repetitive. In that case, I still request you to revise your concepts, watch the video, revise your concepts, and be ready for a small surprise.
Alright, so this is the objective of the course, transform your writing style. This is what we have seen so far that you are going to see. Boost efficiency and productivity. Right? Learns various types of writing that you were talking about. Boost your career by saying what you mean. Understand the business of content writing and digital marketing. We will study this business of content and digital marketing. Monetize your skills on how to do it, and become an entrepreneur or a published author. All right, how to publish your book. Taking maximum advantage of the course, write every day, actively participate in the class, ask as many questions as possible, and learn from others' mistakes. That is why we have shared group folders. Okay. Go through others' assignment also and see what kind of content they are writing, where they are making mistakes, why their content is boring, right? And you will learn a lot from them, that what kind of mistakes you have to avoid, right? Go through the study material and complete respective assignments before attending a class. I do strongly recommend that go through, before coming to the class, do have a glance on the study material and what we are going to study. Okay, we will share that in advance with you. We just saw Google Drive, okay, how to submit assignments. Now, basics of content writing. Can anyone tell me how many, what are the elements of content writing or any piece of content? 3 key elements of content.
Idea or message.
Okay, masses. Style of writing, okay. Masses, style of writing. Yeah, style of writing, the same thing. Yeah. What else? Medium matters, but that is fine. Once you learn to write, only the format makes a difference. So that is not a big deal.
Sticking to the point, what you are conveying to say.
Yeah, it's more of a style of writing. So that is covered under style of writing.
Understanding the topic.
Understanding of the topic, right? This is more about language. The methods. More about the methods that you have to convey. All right. So most of you have covered this thing. So basics. What makes a piece of content? So it's basically a methods, language, and the style. A message, that means, when we say a message, means as a writer, you have to know the message that you want to convey. Okay. If you do not know the message, then you won't be able to write a good content. Okay. So as a writer, you have to know the message. Then the language. Language is, we are studying this in English, but all the rules of writing will be applicable in any other language also, right? So as a writer, I suggest to write short sentences. Why short sentences? Why short sentences? Because if your content has more than 25 words, if your sentence has more than 25 words, then it will not be understood by your target audience. Readers kya hoga? They will start reading from the first word, and the moment they will reach to the last word, they will forget it. Right? But then how you will ensure that you will, so the rule is that you should write less than 18 words in a sentence. Now, writing less than 18 words, so how do you count? Because as a writer, you are not going to count number of words in every sentence. So we have a tool which is called Hemingway app. We will learn how to use that tool in the next class. Okay. And then the style in which we say that everyone has a different style. So it is like I take one example to convey this, and you remember this is the most important element of any content writing work. Because suppose I like your personality, okay, and I say that I want to become you, like you. What will happen? I will try to see, observe you, and try to do what you do, and I will try to become like you. I will never become you because you are yourself. I cannot become you. I will not be myself also because I always try to become you. So in the process, I will lose confidence. So neither I will become me, myself, nor you. So it's like, even though I have great knowledge of the subject, I will feel that I do not have confidence. I am subject matter expert, but I lack confidence. And that is the big problem. It is same case happens in writing also. People, we tend to read good authors and good writers. We get inspired from them. Now, getting inspired is not bad. But the moment you start picking words from their writing, start inserting forcefully into your content, and start, their way of saying messages, you start putting that in your content. You, okay, fine, the way they have just dramatic, they have said something so dramatic, so let me do the same thing. What happens? You will not be able to follow that, their style, ever. कभी ऐसा हो ही नहीं पाएगा. आप लिखोगे, आपसे गलतियां होंगी, आपके सेंटेंस का मतलब ही नहीं निकलेगा. You will make grammatical mistakes also. So what happens? Despite working hard, you will never become a confident writer. आपको कभी कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा ही नहीं कि आप उसको कभी पब्लिश कर सको, सिर्फ बिकॉज आप कंपेयर करते रहोगे कि उसके जैसा बनाए कि नहीं बनाए. Right? So that is where, as a writer, you have to develop your voice. How to develop your voice? That we will in all 8 classes and all the assignments, we will be covering that on how to develop your voice. Right? AC is working or not? Working, it's fine. Okay. So, so this is the core element. You have to learn how to use your experiences, how to develop your voice, and how to express your opinion. Right? जब आप अपना voice develop करेंगे तो सबसे पहले एक चीज होगा कि you will not shy away from expressing yourself, taking a stand on certain topics. If you believe in something, then you will take a stand and you will write about it in that way. You will not be bothered whether people will like it or do not like it. And this is the key thing in writing. The moment you start writing what you believe in, not because you want to please somebody or not because you want people to like it, you're writing it because you believe in that. The moment you achieve that level, that is where you will develop your voice. Right? And as a writer, writers have the best, as we say, the freedom of expression and thought. That comes from writing. I mean, so in any autocratic society, writers have the first target of the government. Why? Because as good writers always write from their heart and what they believe in. Okay? Over a period of time, even if you do freelance writing for your clients, you will learn how to develop your voice. So that we will emphasize a lot going throughout this course, that how to develop your voice. And finally, the layout determines the readability and comprehension. Please, when you are writing assignments, when you are submitting it to us, before submitting, please make sure that it is formatted properly. The font size is 12 or 11. Font is Arial or Times New Roman. Proper formatted work. It is not कि आपने capital में 16, कुछ भी black, red, कुछ भी करके लिख दिया. We will not check that. We will simply say that it is a readability problem, layout problem. Please fix that before we go and evaluate that. No need to do that. No need to do that. Right?
Now, here is a small surprise. We are discussing a lot of tips and techniques in this video. Apply these techniques when you write next piece of content, and in the comments below, write your experience on how these techniques were helpful to you. The best comment will receive an Amazon gift voucher of worth 1000 rupees. To be eligible for this, you have to first subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then we will evaluate your comments. So this is the best opportunity where you can earn while you learn.
Now, this is the effective writing process. Pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing and proofreading, and publishing. A lot of writers think, especially new writers think, that drafting is writing. They think that drafting is writing. But that is a misconception. Drafting is very small part of writing. Okay? The most important part of writing is pre-writing stage. If you do your pre-writing well, your 75% of the work will be done. You know, if you have ever felt like you wanted to read or write something, suppose you had an idea and you wanted to write something, and you probably spent maybe 30 minutes in jotting down all the points, then you started writing. And then you just wanted to do some research, आप research करने गए, and suddenly you think that you wanted to write. Research करने के बाद आपका opinion ही change हो गया. या फिर जब आप लिखने जा रहे हैं तो आपको बहुत कंफ्यूजन आ रही है कि दुनिया भर के पॉइंट्स है, क्या लिखें और क्या छोड़ें. या फिर you are falling short of words. You don't know what to write. Right? या फिर you are not feeling very confident about whether you are able to convey the message in the same way that you want to convey. Now, these kind of problems comes because you have not done your pre-writing well. Right? Once you will do pre-writing, this drafting takes just 30 to 45 minutes. So, for example, if you have to write 500 words article, your pre-writing might take 1 hour, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, or 3 hours. And once you have done your pre-writing really well, it will just take 30 minutes to draft entire 500 word file. And then again, revising will take some time, editing and proofreading will take some time, and publishing will take some time. But the most critical step is pre-writing, not the typing part. जो आप लिखते हैं ना, वो typing होता है, वो drafting, वो writing नहीं होता. Writing वो होता है जो thought process चलता है और जिस तरीके से जिस way में आपको निकालना है इसको. That is the communication. Okay. Now let us see what is this is so important. And any assignment that you do, I recommend that you follow this process. First, you do pre-writing, and then you move on to write even a single word. Now, what is pre-writing? Pre-writing is, there are 5 broad activities in pre-writing. One is topic selection. काफी लोगों को टॉपिक सिलेक्शन में ही कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है कि इस टॉपिक के बारे में लिखें, उस टॉपिक के बारे में लिखें. और आप भी आपने देखा भी होगा, जब मैं टॉपिक के लिए बारे में बोला तो काइंड ऑफ बहुत ही वियर्ड से टॉपिक्स आ रहे थे. कुछ लोगों के तो बहुत ही थे, और कुछ लोगों ने बहुत जल्दी एक्सक्यूज मार लिया छोटी मोटी बात बना के, कुछ भी एक वो करके. मतलब ये होता है, दिस इज अ नॉर्मल टेंडेंसी. द मोमेंट यू से दैट यू राइट अबाउट समथिंग, सेलेक्ट अ टॉपिक, देन यू विल हैव कंफ्यूजन यहीं से स्टार्ट हो जाता है. So first is topic selection. For this class purpose, we have taken one topic, which is example as a writing a professional bio. And we will see. So for example, all of you have to write a professional bio. This we have taken as a topic. So now topic is selected. The next step is to write a purpose statement. Now, what is a purpose statement? The purpose statement is simple 1-2 line thing that tells the reader that what they can expect from this entire article, or it tells you, the writer, what exactly you are going to write in the content. right? So the purpose statement is more important for the writer and not the readers. Though initially when purpose statement was formulated, it was kept in mind that it will be useful for the readers. First, as a first line you write purpose statement, the readers will get to know कि उनको क्या आगे मिलेगा, and then they will decide whether they have to read the entire article or not. It's kind of summary of the entire article. So this is what you are going to discuss. But रीडर्स को तो बाद में हेल्प करता है, ये सबसे ज्यादा राइटर्स को हेल्प करता है, and I will tell you how after that. So let us write a purpose statement. Suppose you have to write a professional bio. Okay, you've chosen a topic which is professional bio. Then you have to write a purpose statement. Now, what is a purpose statement? Purpose statement is, in terms of professional bio, आपको professional bio क्यों लिख रहे हैं? तो सपोज आपको कंटेंट राइटिंग जॉब के लिए लिख रहे हैं, या फिर यू हैव टू पुट दैट ऑन योर वेबसाइट, या यू हैव टू पुट दैट on your LinkedIn profile, right? So suppose I have to write a professional bio, then I will write something like that the purpose of this bio is to highlight my training experiences. Suppose I have to apply for trainer profile, or if I have to apply for business development role, I will try that this or any other profile on which I am working, then it will show that this professional bio will highlight my training experiences and my other work experiences like professional background as well as my education background. So it's basically one 2-line statement that clearly tells you that what all you are going to write. Okay, so can you try writing a purpose statement for your professional bio? Can you just do this exercise right now? Writing a purpose statement of your own professional bio. Done? Yeah, just send me on chat. So for example, this is one I have written a purpose statement like this: professional bio highlights my career milestone related to content writing and training and education background that establishes me as a content writer. A kind of this thing. Yeah, okay, tell me.
I like my content writing training and career.
I
like my content writing training and career.
Okay, to career. All right. Okay, fine. What else?
Same thing is that I like
Just read that. Read that. Whatever you have written. See, this is a writing class, so you have to write. Yeah.
okay, I want to share my professional bio that I want to be a content writing in real estate.
Okay, I want. All right. Content writing, real estate. Okay, fine. Let us see what some others have written. Let me see that. Purpose statement: my professional bio highlights my education, hobbies, and my previous work profile experience. Yes, this is very good. Purpose of pre-writing: since I'm working for a new opportunity within digital marketing and also would like to work as a freelance on digital marketing projects, I would like to enhance my pre-writing skills for content writing, press releases, white paper, and many more writing projects. All right, so this is purpose of pre-writing. No, so this is main thing. My professional bio highlights education, hobbies, and previous work profile and experience. Right. What else? Anyone else has written something? Anything? Just write. Do not hesitate writing anything.
My professional bio is to highlight my work experience and training that I have received.
Okay. Right. I want a few more. Amreen Grewal. Yes. Amreen, send it to send now. Shilpa, then purpose of pre-writing had inclination towards honing inclination towards writing. I would like to work as a content writing, so I want to. Okay, so there are having okay a bit of mistake. So basically, you have to write on what exactly you are going to highlight, right? Bit specific. Okay, have you written something?
Within my profession, I am highlights my content writing skills with
Work experience in which field?
finance.
In finance. So you should have written clear steps. You know, purpose statement should always be as specific as possible. Let us see. And by the way, this you have to do in all the assignments that you have to do. When you write your assignment 1, first you have to write a purpose statement. Then you have to write the structure that we will study now. And then you have to write the bio. This process is a bit tedious, but then it really helps a lot in terms of writing. Now, let us see what is the purpose statement. My professional bio highlights my experience in the field of wireless communication and gives a view of my professional expertise. This is also really good. Okay. Now, how does that work and how we write purpose statement? What is a good and bad purpose statement? Effective and ineffective purpose statements. Just read this. Read this one. Okay, have you read this? Effective. Also read the critique one. This is ineffective purpose statements and read some effective purpose statements also. All right. So what happens is that you can clearly see, though this purpose statement is saying that it is for readers to know what exactly you are going to write, a kind of summary. But remember, this also helps the writer. So before you start writing, you know why you are writing this. So for example, in case of professional bio, are you writing for a writer? And it also helps when suppose you have experience in engineering, mechanical engineering, and you want to become a writer. Now, how you will write a professional bio? Because it will highlight all your experiences related to mechanical engineering, right? And how you will relate it to content writing. So professional bio and writing a purpose statement, before telling it to the reader, it tells the writer that what exactly you are going to write. You know, it clears the message. You get a clear message in your mind. Okay, fine, this is what you need to write. Right? Thought process becomes clearer. And without purpose statement, if you go and start writing, you will get confused. And this is what creates that irritation and confusion and frustration when you write. If you start writing purpose statement, okay, fine, this is what I'm going to write. And if you are clear, okay, fine, this is what all I have to write, things become pretty simple. Then drafting does not take much time. Right? So it basically gives you, focus, okay, fine, this is what you have to write, focus on that. Okay, look at this. So for instance, so it is, remember again, this is more than writers, it's more than readers, it is more for the writers to understand why you are writing it. Now, the purpose of this paper is to describe the changes that are occurring in corporate America. Now, changes are occurring in corporate America. This is sort of, which kind of changes are you talking about? Corporate America means what? Once you will start doing that research, you will go and you can write a book on this, right? Then you will get frustrated in 500 words article what to write and what not to write. Similarly, the purpose of this report is to discuss the eating disorders, this and this. Eating disorders, of kya discuss karoge? Cause, effect, symptoms, what you will discuss, right? Similarly, the article will cover that in different ways a company can become organized. This is again, what do you mean by company? What do you mean by organized? So this is a broad, and this is the problem, once we start writing, we have some vague idea of the topic, vague idea of the message that we want to convey. At the moment you start with the vague idea, that will create frustration. And writing is a therapy. After completing your content, you should feel happy that you have accomplished something. It should not be a frustrating experience. Getting it, Swati? Getting it? Yeah. Now, the effective purpose statements. This paper will describe 4 common causes of co-worker conflict. See, 4 common causes of co-worker conflict in organizations, and explain how to use a 5-step procedure to constructively manage this conflict. Now, it clearly defines, narrow down, okay, fine, you are going to discuss 4 common causes of co-worker conflict and a 5-step procedure to deal with that. All right. Similarly, second one, this report will explain how supervisors can use 4 planning strategies to improve employee productivity in the workplace. Now, it is very clear that explain how supervisors can use 4 planning strategies. You cannot write 4. I mean, simply you can also write this report will explain how supervisor can use planning strategies to improve workforce employee productivity in the workplace. This is now precise. So this is where when you write a purpose statement, and you have to, as part of the assignment, you have to first write the purpose statement in your assignment. And you have to be very much clear that this professional bio is going to highlight my skills in content writing and other experiences in so for example, mechanical or electronics and communication engineering, that has helped me become a better professional or something, XYZ, depending on your background. This will also highlight my education background, hobbies, and interests. Right? So once you write, then you become clear, okay, fine, this is what you need to write. Then I hope all of you are now clear on purpose statement.
Yeah, I have one question here.
Yes, please.
Let's say we don't have a prior experience of writing content.
Yes.
And we have some technical background.
Can you be a bit louder and increase your speaker's volume?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say one person is not experienced in content writing.
Yes.
He is technical in some subject. So can we highlight that and say we want to do a content writing as well, or how is it? I didn't get that purpose.
Yes. Fortunately, content writing is a field where experts from all the fields are required.
Okay.
It is such a thing. So, for example, if you need to write something in physics or mechanics, so for example, something in physics, then preferably you prefer someone who knows physics and they can also write good. And there is a scope for content writing in almost every field. So Naveen, you can definitely highlight that. You simply, what you need to do is that you have to also show your language and creative skills apart from the current skills that you have in your own field.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And that highlight has to be done in the very first paragraph. Remember, the first paragraph of bio contains the most important element. So first you start highlighting that your creative and language skills that you have, and then go on to explain your past experiences.
Okay.
That will help you understand, that will help you make a better impact.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Anything else? Any other question on this purpose statement? All right. Then the next thing is to do research. Now, a lot of us are very bad in research. Let us accept that. When we tend to do lazy work in research, Google के पहले 2-3 पेज पे आए बस, that is it. We don't go beyond that. So we have to do some research. Now, even if the topic is writing a professional bio, rather than start writing, okay, now you have found your professional, the experiences, purpose statement, you have got it, and who knows better than you about yourself? So let us start writing. No, that doesn't work. Right? Why it doesn't work? Because then you will never know कि कौन सा experience पहले लेकिन कौन सा experience बाद में लेकिन आप 3 experiences को mix कर दोगे अगर ज़्यादा experience है तो experience नहीं है अगर आप college में हैं तो आपको कुछ लिखने के लिए नहीं मिलेगा कि हम लिखें तो क्या लिखें करें तो करें क्या वो वाली हालत हो जाएगी right? So it means that you have to go and find out how others have written their professional bio.
Professional bio is basically like we have to mention the content writing also while we are up to this course or like professional.
See, anything जिस जॉब के लिए अप्लाई कर रहे हैं आप वो तो उसका स्किल तो हाईलाइट करेंगे ना. Suppose you are applying for content writing. Suppose you are applying for teaching, then you will highlight your teaching experience. Even if you do not have teaching experience, then at least you will show that you have caliber to do that teaching. And then you will say that I have expertise in this mechanics, for instance, for 10 years. I can teach mechanics to graduates and postgraduates. No, I will come to that. Yeah. So does it answer your question?
I got it. Like I wrote in my professional bio reflects my teaching experience in education sector.
Right.
So after that, am I supposed to write something about content writing also?
If you are applying for content writing, then. If you will apply for teaching, then it is not. Now she is asking whether it is like a resume. No. Resume is a more detailed description of your work year by year. Professional bio is a summary of your entire professional career. We will just see a few examples. And this is where I am saying that we need to do research. And this is where the research part comes into the picture. That you have to research and find out how others have written their bio. Examples of professional bio. Now, since I have done this research for you, and now let us look at 3 professional bios, how others have written that. So let us read the first bio. Just read it. So yes, the first paragraph. This what she does, I have written this. Okay, this she has not written. I have written in bracket for your understanding. And then she has written about the technical skills that she has in that field, and then finally education background. Then let us look at this one. Read this one.
So it is written in third person form. Okay.
Yes, yes.
We can write in first person or third person.
That I will discuss.
The examples what can be seen is like first is what she does,
Absolutely.
what she does, and then what is the credentials or
Right.
expertise,
Right.
and then the
Right. So this is one insight, is that you start with what you are doing right now. The most important thing. Then you prove by giving some credentials or technical skill set that you have, or the clients you give, to prove that. And then next, you have to go on to, if you're more experienced, then write about more experiences. And then finally, education background. Right? Now read this one also. Then, we continue.
I think the clientele is enough, right?
Yeah, it is enough. But
Yeah,
then,
no.
yes, it is enough to say who that person is. You will be clear about one thing, that the first paragraph is about most important thing that you want to do, right? So it starts with what you are doing currently. Then clients include is this, again proving what he has claimed here. Because if the clientele would not have been here, ये by 2000% जो यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है, it would have been difficult to prove that. It would have looked like exaggeration. But the moment you give the clientele, you say, okay, fine, it works. Yeah. Then past experience about his chief marketing officer at INC. Then his writing experience. Just note that these two are in different paragraph. I will discuss why. So Mark served as chief marketing officer. So this is his marketing officer in this company. And now this is different because this is his writing experience. So this is in different paragraph. Then this is again just one line paragraph because this is his teaching experience. So three different types of experiences coming in three different paragraphs. I will discuss this why. And then finally his interests. All right?
every category.
Yes. One paragraph, right? Absolutely. And that we will study just 5 minutes down this next 5-10 minutes. So you got an indication, clear idea of, now you've done your research also, right? You found these three profiles. Then you got a question like, should we write in first person or third person? Now what happens is entirely your choice, but there are some clues that you should take. Clues are, if you're writing in first person, so for example, if you write this one, that I am the founder of Levy Innovation, LLC, a positioning and branding firm that helps consultants and other thought leaders increase their fee by up to 2000%. The moment you put I here, or my client will include this, it seems kind of you are self-obsessed, narcissist. You are talking a lot about yourself, right? But it did not feel like this in this particular case. She had taken a very different approach when she was writing. I helped doing this. All right. So it is entirely up to you on which approach do you take. If you want to show a lot of achievement, a lot of people have a habit that if they show their achievement firsthand, they feel a sort of embarrassed, or like apne muh mein mithu wali jo baat hoti hai, that you're talking a lot about yourself, and that is why they write in third person. Third person में लिखने से क्या होता है, सारी चीजें neutral हो जाती हैं. Everything is neutral now. Write whatever you want to write. You've written his or her, then it goes with the flow. So that is your choice. Yes, when you are applying for a job and you are sending a cover letter along with this resume, then you will write in the first person. In the resume, you write in the first person. Yes.
Actually, my education background includes this person. So if you write in the third person, so
Her education background. Or she has done undergraduate from this. Or she holds a graduate and postgraduate degree in this. graduation degree in this.
But when we are writing our own professional bio, how we have to write?
So they have also written their own bio, but they have written some in I and some in he or she. It is like you are not going to read it. It is someone else is reading that.
For the reader.
It's for the reader. Right? If you feel confused, then it's better you write in I for. The best way is that if you do not want to like in C or he, better to use I. It is equally acceptable. There is no debate or point there. Many times people feel a bit conscious when they speak about their achievements, then they put he because it neutralizes everything. But when you feel that no, it's becoming slightly uncomfortable for you to put he or she because you're writing about yourself, you are taking responsibility, then you talk as I.
But in resume, you suggest that it should always be
Hmm?
first resume writing, it should be in
First person, always be in first person, like I. Yes. Right? Now you have your research. What is the next stage? Next stage is this. Write down the key information and messages in bullet points. That is, by the way, ये नहीं कि research जब कर लिया आपको idea मिल गया तो लिखना शुरू कर दीजिए. ऐसे नहीं करना है. You have to again follow a process, and that process is, so for example, I have written my experiences. See, the current work, I will start with this, I'm jotting down the points. Then freelance writing experience, list of clientele. Then work, this is I've written about myself as an experience, as an example. Work experience at Mansur. Then work experience at HDFC Bank. And then my education background. This I am going to write. I've jotted down the point that I'm going to write. Right? Now, these are the key messages. Now, क्या होगा कि की मैसेज में आपको ये तो मैंने जेनरिक लिख दिया, कुछ चीजें मैं और भी इसमें डाल सकता हूँ because that has been my key achievement, key accomplishments. Especially this is important for new college students who have lot to say but do not know what to say. So for example, they have done some internships, some projects, some debate competitions, some extracurricular, anything. They can put almost everything. So they need to jot down all the points before they start writing. Once you have done that, the next step is to organize the information or create a structure. That is the final outcome of pre-writing stage. And that is why I said that it is the most important stage. At this point, you are going to create a structure. How structure will look like? Structure will look like this. That since so for example, I am writing for highlighting my training experience. So paragraph 1 will have my work at ECT, the work that I have done. Then paragraph 2 will have my work at 6PL, that is the marketing agency that I have. Paragraph 3 will talk about the clientele because I want to substantiate the claims that I am making here. Then paragraph 4 is freelance work experience that I have. Okay, in terms of writing. Then I will go paragraph 5, para 6, para 7. All right. So now I am completely, यहाँ पे क्या था, मैंने सिर्फ points jot down किए थे कि मुझे क्या क्या लिखना है. But यहाँ पे मैं हर paragraph में क्या लिखना है वो मैं लिखने जा रहा हूँ. Okay. So a complete structure, you have to have a complete structure before you start writing. अब देखिए अगर आपके पास इतना structure मिल गया तो आपको फिर ये लिखना बहुत ही आसान हो जाएगा. Then it's simply, since you know the structure, now start typing. It's more of a typing work than writing. Right? Now, so we have structured this. Okay, we have created a structure. You have to write, by the way, write a structure also in your professional bio assignment 1. So you have to write a purpose statement, then structure, and then finally bio. Now, then the next step is drafting. Then comes, once you've created the structure, then comes the drafting part. Drafting part में 4 चीजें होती हैं, which is very important. Writing a sentence, write a paragraph, introduction and conclusion, and then writing the body. Okay, we will see how. Writing a sentence conveys a complete meaning. कई बार प्रोफेशनल बायो में लिखते हुए लिखते हैं कि आई एम साकेत कुमार सिंह, और साकेत is, for example, instructor at ECT and then taught 2000 plus professionals. Now taught 2000 plus professionals का मतलब ये हुआ कि सब्जेक्ट उसमें मैंने गायब कर दिया. Who taught? I taught, you taught, he taught, she taught, who taught? Do not do that. Do not make those mistakes. Write a complete sentence. And if you are confused, then do a random person test. Random person test means in your mind, think that if I take this sentence to someone else and ask them, okay, fine, tell me if you understand, what do you understand by that? So for example, I've written taught 2000 plus professionals, and I come and ask you that I've written 2000 plus professionals. Can you tell me what does it mean? You will say कि हाँ किसी ने 2000 plus professionals को पढ़ाया है, but किसने पढ़ाया है वो इसमें नहीं लिखा है. It means the sentence is incomplete. And remember that this random person test is actually in mind test. It is not that you are going on the road and asking some random person कि बताओ ये सही है कि नहीं. ये mind test है. When you get confused, write short sentences. That we will discuss. There is a tool which is Hemingway app, through which we find out, and we will just discuss that. Okay, on कैसे वो function करता है. Avoid writing sentences having more than 25 words. Always use active voice. We are going to study this in detail in grammar and business writing. And then use simple words. Do not complicate things. Now, question comes that how you know that you have written 18 or 25 words, or active voice or passive voice. There comes a tool which is known as Hemingway app. What does this do is that once you complete your content, once you have finished your drafting part, okay, so let us do one thing. We will cover this later on in terms of revising when we go to revising. I will just take you through this one. That remember that you have to write short sentences. At this stage, you just remember that, right? Then comes writing a paragraph. Now, if you go to this bio, you will see that एक line का एक bio paragraph है. Can you tell me why? इसको इससे भी तो अटैच कर सकते थे न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स में जो राइटिंग एक्सपीरियंस है उसके साथ.
It's telling a totally different thing what he has done.
Right.
Want to highlight it.
Highlight and plus different things. So what happens is that there is a rule in paragraph that one paragraph contains only one idea. That is called rule of unity. Means your one type of, suppose you have worked as business development executive in 2 companies, then you will not use 2 paragraphs to write that. You will use just 1 paragraph because in both the companies you did similar type of job. Until there is one exception here. Suppose you worked in Google in one company as a business development executive only, but the company was Google. Another company was relatively unknown company. Then you need to highlight that Google. Then you will use different paragraph. Otherwise, business development executive in 1 paragraph. Writing experience in 1 paragraph. Now tell me one example, one question I have, that you have first year of experience in company X. पहले साल आपने एज राइटर काम किया. देन नेक्स्ट ईयर उसी कंपनी में आपने एज अ बीडी एज अ सेल्स काम किया. एंड देन यू गॉट प्रोमोटेड सीनियर बीडी, आपने सीनियर बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट एग्जीक्यूटिव काम किया. एंड देन यू गॉट इनटू अनदर कंपनी एंड यू बिकेम a same thing you're doing the senior BD as a business development executive. So how many paragraphs में information आएगा? 2 paragraphs, right? One is BD, one is writing. Okay. अगर वही BD में एक और टीम हैंडलिंग का रोल आ जाता, then it would have been a team handling 3 paragraphs, right? अब क्या होता है, जैसे मान लीजिए कि आपको 20 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है, उसमें टीम हैंडलिंग का रोल 15 ईयर्स है, तो फिर वो 5 साल आप गायब कर सकते हैं जो सिंगल रोल है, बिकॉज अब आफ्टर 15 ईयर्स मोस्टली आपको टीम हैंडलिंग का रोल मिलेगा. Then why to highlight पीछे की छोटी मोटी चीजें. You have to highlight only the key part. And that has to be into one paragraph. But the point that you need to remember is it will come into absolutely fine. That the point to remember is that only one key idea into one paragraph. That is the core point that you have to understand, right? And do not write more than 5 lines in a paragraph. ये take it as a rule. अब आप देखिएगा कोई भी आप आर्टिकल, अच्छे आर्टिकल, नेटिव आर्टिकल, वेबसाइट कंटेंट कहीं से भी पढ़िएगा, you will not find more than 5 lines in one article, right? So you have to use, do not use more. In fact, 4 line is the best way. No, not sentences, 5 lines. In a Word document, 5 lines. 5 sentences तो आप 25 वर्ड के 25 वर्ड का एक सेंटेंस लिख दो तो पूरा पैराग्राफ हो गया एक, 150 words का. Yeah, so that is why one line. I'm talking about standard Word document size, right? And whenever this one we will discuss a lot, use facts and numbers to support a claim. Whenever you claim something, then use. So suppose you say that you are a great leader or you have good leadership skills. Then just writing that you have good leadership skills will not help, because everyone can say that I have excellent communication skills, excellent leadership skills. Then what you need to do, you have to show that you handled a team of 10 people and generated a sales of this much because I have good leadership skills. So that basically will prove that you have a good leadership skills. All right. So this is about writing a paragraph. अब एक चीज इसमें ये भी आप ध्यान रखिएगा, प्रोफेशनल बायो में we always write in chronological order. So present से हम start करते हैं and then gradually we go to the past till education background, and then we write hobbies and interests. And even though you do not have a hobby, a particular hobby, try writing something in the hobby, because you should look like a human, not a robot that you just work.
Confusion is also required.
Huh? No, conclusion is not. Conclusion basically ends with hobbies and interest or education background. All right? This is clear? Once you have written, now drafting का एक rule होता है. Once suppose आपने structures जब बना लिया, तो जब आप लिखने बैठते हो तो do not get distracted. Your simple work is that एक बार में जो आपने पैराग्राफ बना लिया तो आप 30 minutes में quickly आप लिख डालो, आप चाहे अच्छा लिखो, सही लिखो, गलत लिखो, because there are 2 more steps that will fix the writing. अगर राइटिंग में अपने थॉट फ्लो को आप गड़बड़ करोगे, बिकॉज आपने स्ट्रक्चर ऑलरेडी बना लिया कि पैराग्राफ 1 में क्या आना है, सेकंड में क्या आना है, थर्ड में क्या आना है, फोर्थ में क्या आना है, एंड अगर आप उसको डिस्टर्ब फिर से करते हो बिकॉज राइटिंग में लिखते वक्त ऐसा लग रहा है कि नहीं ये यहाँ पे होना चाहिए, अगर फिर अपने दिमाग को थोड़ा सा आपको कंट्रोल करना पड़ेगा एंड यू हैव टू टेल योरसेल्फ कि नो ओके फाइन, जैसे स्ट्रक्चर बना है फर्स्ट राइट इन दैट वे ओनली. ओके, सो दैट विल हेल्प यू इन राइटिंग, इंक्रीजिंग योर स्पीड and becoming more confident. So once you have completed your framed the entire structure, you simply go and quickly in 30 minutes, do not take more than 30 minutes to write 500 words or 200 words. And once you have written, then comes the revising stage. Revising stage में क्या करना है, that you have to read your draft aloud. ओके, ये अलाउड की क्या जरूरत है? What else? Confidence. What else? Why I need to shout?
Kind of hear what you have written.
Absolutely.
So, kind of some third person is
Right. Yes. I will tell you self proofreading कैसे काम करता है. It will come into right. Yes. Now. Let us understand self proofreading का एक मतलब मैं बता देता हूँ आपको. जब हम खुद से प्रूफ रीडिंग करते हैं तो एक प्रोसेस होता है जो कि हम वो कर लेते हैं, कई बार मिस कर जाते हैं. आई विल जस्ट शो यू दैट हाउ डज दिस प्रूफ रीडिंग वर्क्स. ओके, नाउ दिस गाय इज ट्राइंग टू डू समथिंग. लुक एट हिम and see where he is making a mistake. Right. So this is where, can you see this? Self-proofreading is this all about this. That is where, and that is why it is important to read it aloud. Because when you will hear yourself, then you will have better understanding of where you are missing. Okay, and at this stage, second step is ask your friends for feedback if there are. If someone can help, that is really good. Second pair of eyes always help. But if it is not possible, it is fine. Check coherence. Coherence is once you end a paragraph, is it leading to this end of one paragraph should lead to the next paragraph logically. So each paragraph, remember one thing, it is the paragraph which is the building block of any piece of content, not the sentence or a word, right? So each coherence की हम जब बात करते हैं तो basically हम paragraph के logically connected होने की बात करते हैं. So each paragraph, so for example, paragraph 1 should lead to paragraph 2. Paragraph 2 should logically leads to paragraph 3. Sequential, right? And that becomes coherence. And see if coherence is missing, then you need to do something. At revising stage also, if you think that you have not written in a chronological order, you have left something, you need to add something, then it is better to change that thing entirely. And always remember that between drafting and revising, you should give yourself at least 1 day. If not 1 day, to at least 3 to 4 hours. ये नहीं कि अभी ड्राफ्ट भी कर लिया और अभी रिवाइज भी करने बैठ गए. सेम माइंडसेट में ठीक से नहीं निकल पाएगा. You have to give some time to yourself, right? And once you check the coherence, then look for wordy sentences. We will study that in the next session, so I am not keeping it. We will study in grammar session. And then remove the obvious. Remove the obvious means कई बार ये होता है कि कोई पूछता है कि I want to be successful. जैसे मैं आपसे पूछता हूँ I want to be successful. मुझे क्या करना चाहिए? और आपका आंसर आता है कि वर्क हार्ड. मैं बोलूँगा कि ये तो मुझे पता ही था. राइट. सो इतना ऑब्वियस आंसर जब हम लिख देते हैं कई बार तो बोरिंग बन जाता है. आई मीन इट बिकम्स सो चाइल्डिश कि तो हर किसी को पता ही है क्यों लिखा है ये. राइट. तो एज अ रिवाइजिंग स्टेज यू विल फाइंड कि आपने जो लिखा है, कई बार मैं भी लिखता हूँ वो, क्योंकि लिखते वक्त हमें वो उस कनेक्ट की जरूरत होती है. देन वी राइट दैट. बट रिवाइजिंग स्टेज में हमें वो रिमूव करना पड़ता है, समथिंग विच इज टू ऑब्वियस for everyone to understand, right? Then comes editing and proofreading. Now, these things are, most important that we are going to discuss today, and we will finish this class in 10 minutes now, max. Using Hemingway app. So when we talk about using Hemingway app, we will see how does that work. So once you have revised your content, then you have to go here and do this, use this Hemingway app. How? Let us see. So suppose you have written this, I am taking this. So once you will open Hemingway app, you do not have to download it, you do not have to do anything. ठीक है, डाउनलोड करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Simply open Hemingway app, right? And then यहाँ पे कुछ कुछ लिखा हुआ है, आप देख रहे हैं. इसको कंट्रोल ए करके इसको डिलीट कीजिए और यहाँ पे आपको जो भी कंटेंट आपने लिखा है यहाँ पे पेस्ट कीजिए. सो आई एम टेकिंग वन कंटेंट फ्रॉम हियर. नाउ लुक एट दिस, इट इज सेइंग ग्रेड 8. ग्रेड यहाँ पे जो दिखाता है इसका मतलब ये है कि 8th क्लास का बच्चा इसको पढ़ के समझ सकता है, राइट? And ideally, any content should have less than 10th grade, because an average adult, if even not scientists like Einstein and all, top IQ people, all of us, average people, can understand language which can be understood by a 10th grader, a majority of the population, right? The less, the better. मतलब कहना ये है कि अगर 6th 7th 8th क्लास का बच्चा भी अगर आपका लिखा हुआ पढ़ के समझ सकता है, it means your content writing is good. The moment it goes 11, 12, 13, 14, इसका मतलब ये है your writing is poor. You need to improve on style so that you can so that people can read and understand that, enjoy that reading.
Since reading is about everything like the language, style, or it's just about the simplicity of the sentences used.
Understanding, mainly comprehension. Comprehension, whether the people, the readers who are going to read, they will be able to understand in the first reading itself or not. Huh. And it is not the era that if someone is trying to read first and if they do not understand, they will simply read it twice. They will just leave it because they have multiple options these days. So this is where, now grade 8, it means this is a good article. Now I told you that there are 18 and 25 wala chakkar jo hota hai. You have to find this from this one. जो hard and very hard जो sentences हैं, अगर आपका grade 10 से ज़्यादा है, तो you have to try to split hard sentences मतलब 18 से ज़्यादा और very hard मतलब 25 वर्ड से ज़्यादा, right? So अगर 18 वर्ड से ज़्यादा, अगर जो येलो वाले हैं, अगर आपका grade 10 से ज़्यादा है, तो you have to try to split the sentence so that it becomes more readable. And grade improves. In fact, मतलब grade जो है वो lower हो जाए. Alright, ये आपको फिर से ग्रामर की क्लास में जब आप लिखेंगे तो जो भी आपका कंटेंट होगा ना, we will show you here कि कैसे ये होता है. और आपने जो लिखा है आप भी एक बार लिख के इसमें डालिएगा जरूर. एंड जो भी हार्ड एंड वेरी हार्ड सेंटेंसेस है, आपको 3 चीजों पर फोकस करना है. एडवर्ब बता रहा है कि एम फॉर 6 और फ्यूअर, मतलब आपको एडवर्ब्स कम करने होंगे. जैसे द हैबिट्स ऑफ हाईली सक्सेसफुल पीपल, इट इज सेइंग कि हाईली कैन बी ओमिटेड. Habit of successful people is also fine, right? So this tool also spots the words which is not required, or something that you've written in passive voice, because passive voice is not a good way of writing, right? Plus it highlights the lengthy sentences, the 18 sentences with 18 words and 25 words. Try to split that into 2 sentences. And in the next class we will see कि कई बार split करने का sense नहीं बन पाता, right? उस cases को कैसे deal करते हैं? That we will see in the next class when you will do this your first assignment. But I do recommend that once you do your first assignment, once you do the revising stage, so at proofreading stage, I do recommend that first put it on Hemingway and try working in these 3. Uses of passive voice, make it 0 or 1. Passive voice minimal hona chahiye, and try to break down the sentences to make it shorter so that the grade is below 10th. All right?
It says phrases have simpler alternatives.
Right. So for example, if you look at facilitate, अब इसमें बोल रहा है कि ease और help. Facilitate इसको बड़ा word लग रहा है. Now the point is that you do not have to go by this every time. Sometimes it is a software, so it is not going to read your mind. It is just saying a few things, telling you a few things that you do not have to. Sometimes you have to ignore, sometimes you have to accept. It is your understanding of the language and the process of the software that you will either accept or do not accept. All right. And once you break down this sentence into 2 parts, then we go and run the content through Grammarly, which we will be studying in the next class on how to use Grammarly software. You asked now that there are tools that editing and proofreading grammatical. So this is Grammarly tool. We will tell you how to use that tool, right? Then smooth transition between main ideas and section. How does that happen? Does the content fulfill the objectives mentioned in the purpose statement? जो आपने initial purpose statement लिखा था, क्या उसको ये meet कर रहा है या नहीं कर रहा है? You have to go back and check once again. Is it visually appealing or not? Because if you have done a great job And if it is not appealing visually, then it has no use. All right. Then finally, does it have all the components? This component we will be studying in academic writing. This is more for academic writing, which we will be studying in academic session. Right? So, then writing a professional bio, as we saw introduction, first person versus third person, you get it, you have already cleared it. And conclusion, you have to write either education background, passion, hobbies, interests, etc., whatever you want to highlight. Right? So this is the process. I will just take you through quickly what we have done today, so that, and what you need to do as part of your exercise, so that you are clear about before we meet in the next class. Maybe I think it is on Sunday or Saturday, depending on the mail that has been sent to you. Sunday, right? Yes. So before we meet in the next class, a few things that you have to do is you have to go and introduce yourself on the forum, ECT forum. Okay, so quick now closing remarks. So we have studied today the key take. Just read this, later on we can discuss. So key things that we have learned today: we first created a profile on ECT forum where you have to actively participate. Then we created a WordPress blog that you have to start working after only 5th week. You have to start writing on that, the topics that you are going to read. And the third one is after that we studied this goal setting. We have set weekly goals for every week. Try to stick to these goals. Okay, do not go here and there. Okay, do not divert your attention. Stick to that. And then finally we studied this key concepts. So a quick concepts were like So yes, basics of content writing. As a writer, you have to know clear methods, you have to write short sentences, and you have to develop your voice. You have to also pay attention to readability, the layout, so that improves readability and comprehension. Effective writing process has 5 stages: pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, and proofreading, and publishing. Pre-writing stage is the most critical stage. You should never avoid this, and you should always, in fact, follow before writing even a single word. The outcome of pre-writing stage is a complete structure. Example, we took up a professional bio. We saw that in terms of drafting, you should not take more than 30 minutes to write this 200, 250 or 500 words. Once you create a structure, simply go ahead and write in one setting. Finish without any distraction. Write short sentences. In one paragraph should have only one idea, core idea. Revising. The key thing is read your draft aloud and check for coherence. Look for wordy sentences. That you will know this after once we will study the grammar class. Use Hemingway app to see that, to break down the long sentences into short sentences. We will use this again, Hemingway and Grammarly, in the next class. Then finally, we saw a few professional bio, which will be helpful in professional bio. You have to start with currently what you are doing, and then chronologically you have to go back and state your experiences, and finally your education background and hobbies and interests. Right? That is all for today. Thank you very much. Do write. Do not hesitate asking any questions. If you have any questions, do write to us on WhatsApp. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Do apply these techniques, and I'm confident that you will see a tangible difference in your writing style. I would also like to know your feedback, your opinion on whether these tips were helpful to you or not. If not, then we will tell you the reason. If yes, then please write us in the comment and get an opportunity to earn 1000 rupees for learning the tips and techniques to improve your writing style. And if you like the video, then please hit the like button and share this video with your friends and colleagues, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to transform your writing style. Thank you very much for watching this video.